Missed phone calls and texts you had right now?
I've lost count. I've lost count.
All right, so all this stuff is now starting to fade, and it's going to be right back to work real soon. Like, what has it been like juggling these last 24, 48 hours, whatever, of like finalizing this, but also you always talk about trying to serve these players in this program. What has that been like, striking that balance here in the past couple of days?
It's been hard. I mean, you guys know this about me by now. I have no trouble being transparent. It's been hard. It's been a lot of sleepless nights, but God's provided from the standpoint of enough energy and strength and passion to get through each day. But the motivation has been the same from the very beginning. It's about serving these guys. It's about serving this program. So that is the focus. There's going to be time in the off season to implement more changes, but we can't look too far ahead. There's some really important things going on right now that we got to focus on, and so I think just it's a little bit of a juggling act, but we'll get it done.
What have the conversations been like with the guys about, okay, this is a domino that's now in place, so we got an NIT game coming up, who wants to play in it? Like, what does the roster look like going into tomorrow? What has it been like trying to keep this all together?
Yeah, we met yesterday, and I had some conversation with guys the day before about what they wanted to do. And so we have a competitive group who they love to hoop, and they enjoy being around each other. And I think when we all sat in a room and guys got to express their opinions on what they wanted, it became clear that they wanted to play. So I have no doubts we're going to approach this game like we have these last 8, and we'll take it from there.
Are you excited to have a game to prep for with all the other stuff that you have, or how do you feel to have a game?
I'll tell you tomorrow. It's interesting. I don't think I would have envisioned becoming a head coach and playing a game within whatever it's been 48 hours. So that part's unique, certainly, but I love to hoop too, like our guys. So I'm excited about the opportunity to get out there and coach and coach these guys. So we'll be able to focus on the task at hand.
How Jay, when Gene came to you with the idea of moving away from Chris and making you the interim head coach and stuff, was there a sense of liberation but also daunting pressure? I mean, explain what that kind of moment was like and what compare it to now.
Yeah, this feels.
You got to deliver, right?
This feels different. My focus immediately was on our guys, and so I just picked up the phone and called parents as soon as we met, and we sat down and had individual meetings with guys the very next day. So that was. I didn't have a lot of time, or really just. It wasn't about anything other than that. Now, things are different, right? There's a responsibility to oversee and look at things from a different lens.
Yeah.
So we'll embrace it. We'll be able to do that. But that was the focus at that time.
That's the reason I was asking, because you grew up in a head coach's. He was always in charge.
Yeah.
Others were working for him. He was always in charge. How did that prepare you for this?
Well, he didn't stop coaching me when we walked through the door at night. So. Listen, it's about relationships. I saw very early on in my life when we had former players, they were current players of my dad coming over, and I'd wake up in the morning, there might be a guy like sleeping on the couch, and it was a big family. So I've seen firsthand the power that this game and running a program a certain way, how that can impact people. That's ultimately what this is about. The beautiful thing is we get to do it on the biggest stage in the country. We get to do it while chasing these championships and following through on these expectations. But it's still about the people. It's about the people that came before us. It's really important to be about the people that are on our team and the people that will be here in the future.
One other quickie, Michigan State, a 9th seed.
A lot. Yeah, a lot. It's some of it is I have to be honest and evaluate what my strengths and weaknesses are. And there's a character profile that is kind of a non-negotiable. I want to be about bringing guys in who are relatable, who care about helping guys grow on and off the court. Great work ethics. There's some great resources already here. So right now we're focusing on finishing this well, and we'll start to kind of map some of that out in the near future. but a lot of it is being honest with myself about what I do well. Like, I love to recruit. I love to get in the gym with players. I realize I can't do that at the same capacity that in the same amount of time that I may have before, but I want to build a staff that still allows me to do some of those things. I want to be able to get in the gym and work out with guys. Maybe not every single day like I did before, but certainly regularly. And I want to be involved in recruiting because the relationship would be significantly involved in recruiting because the relationship that is formed in the recruiting process, we've gotten to see how impactful that can be. It's a big part of why I think I was able to coach these guys. Certainly they're great guys. They care a ton about Ohio State, but that relationship was a big factor.
Yeah, you've been known as kind of a recruiter during your time as an assistant coach. How do you plan on attacking that, knowing that there are far more things to juggle now than there used to be for you? You're the head coach now, you can't do that quite as much, but you have to balance that with also still be known as a recruiter like you've always been known as.
Yeah, I still love building those relationships, so that's going to always be a part of it. But, you know, I have to rely on the staff to supplement that because of the other time commitments and where, you know, the time and the energy needs to be spent.
Hey Jake, Ross talked about your being at your house Saturday. Was that the phone call before that? Was that just, hey, I need to come? Can I come over? Can we talk? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, it was kind of, hey, are you at home? You know, yeah. All right. Then it was like a little bit of a break. I was thinking to myself, okay, I feel like this is trending in a really positive direction. It's like, I got to work on a couple things, but I'll connect with you in a little bit. So there was some anxiousness during that time, certainly. But yeah, when he said, hey, I want to stop by and see you, you know, you and Jordan, it was that really just, you know, there were some emotions there. We got excited and thinking like this could really be
Did
happening.
that take a long time? Did it feel like it took a long time from that
Yeah,
phone call
it
to?
felt like it took way longer than it actually did. I promise you that.
Jake, an honest question. Michigan State, a 9 seed. You guys are in the NIT. What's just your take on that?
Yeah, I have said publicly I'm not an expert on what those, you know, qualifications and metrics to decide who's in and out. I think we've seen, right, that even this year with how big the bubble was, that there was going to be some really good teams not in the NCAA tournament. We're one of those. I don't think we proved that. We certainly proved that lately. But I also don't want to forget about the body of work that was done at the beginning of the season. We had a great non-conference win against Alabama, Santa Clara, UCLA, all kind of, you know, maybe not had the seasons we thought they were going to have to begin the season, but they all ended up being good seasons. So, yeah, I would certainly, if I got a chance to be in the room and you know, sell why we should be in the tournament, I would have loved that opportunity. But I think there's some great representation from our league in the NCAA tournament. I'm excited about the opportunity for the Big Ten, and we're going to be, you know, following that. So
I know you said a lot of the conversations are going to happen, obviously, after this NIT tournament run, but in terms of staff construction, what's going to be important for you as you evaluate kind of long-term where you want to go with the staff?
yeah, there's the relatability to players and connecting with those guys and understanding what goes into making this program so special. And we'll have to teach some guys that. Some guys already know that, certainly. And it's going to come down to, you know, evaluating areas that aren't strengths for me and supplementing that with people who are strong in those areas. And so there's obviously a great deal of thought that goes into that. That begins far before you get this opportunity. But once this opportunity becomes real, you have to focus on that. Certainly, it's unique because we're still playing that not as much attention has been put on that necessarily as it would be if we weren't still playing.
And then is there been any...
Let me hop in. We're gonna get them over a couple more. Everybody come back tomorrow night. We're gonna match the game tomorrow night too, right? We need to get to practice.
And his brother gets
Just a couple more.
he's driving off to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I got to go back to
In
Pittsburgh.
terms of your sideline behavior and the way you coach, or are you still tweaking that? Whether it's officiating or whatever it may be.
My energy and passion that you've seen, that's who I am. And I don't anticipate that changing because it was genuine. So
It won't get wilder, is what you said.
no, I need to be a little more mindful of that line on the floor right there for the coach's box. I've been reminded of that. But no, I love getting to do this. I certainly love getting to do it here, and I think you see that. I want our guys to play with a great deal of energy and passion, and I have to certainly be an example of that. So I think you got to see the guys. There was a joy in the way they played. They were celebrating each other's great plays. There was great emotion. I get your question. It's easy to do that in a short period of time, but that's who I am. So that's why I don't anticipate that changing.
Will you have a full coaching staff tomorrow?
We're working through that. We're working through that. There's been some dialogue. Obviously, I talked about the uncertainty around everybody in our program before this happened, or when this happened, and there's conversations that are being had because we got to figure out what fits for everybody, both individually and collectively. So there's still some conversations to be had. If you'd stop taking all my time, maybe I could get to some of that.
Get used to that.
But no, I a lot of that staff stuff will be sorted out here soon. But we have a great group committed to seeing this through with our players, and we're gonna give this game tomorrow everything we got.
Can we
Thanks,
talk
Jake.
practice?
Thanks, Jake.
Oh, you leaving?
Yeah.